Hello, hello, my people, mi gente, saludos. I am Yesty Rodriguez, and welcome to another episode, otro episodio de Hoy en Día TV. Hey, as per usual, we have an amazing show because we aim to inspire, motivate, enlighten, entertain, and educate you because we want to be that beacon of light. Hoy en Día TV bilingual lifestyle show. I'm going to bring up my co-host, Manny Morales. Welcome.
Bendiciones, bendiciones, mi gente. ¿Cómo estamos? How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing?
What's up?
Not too much. Long day. Mondays at work. When you have a 9 to 5, it's like you dread Mondays. And then when you get to work, it's like, oh, it's Monday. And then everything goes wrong because it's Monday. And it's like, oh, I can't wait to get off because it's Monday. It's just Monday.
So it's just a day. I got you. Another day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right?
How was your day?
You know what? I had a great day. I mean, every day that I wake up alive and well and kicking is blessed. I'm blessed. I thank God.
Good.
But I agree. It's like it's busy and then it goes by in a snap of a finger. And then you look at the list, like yo tengo una lista de muchas cosas que tengo que hacer. And I'm like, oh gosh, I didn't even do like a quarter of it. Right. Where am I going to find time for everything else? That's usually my schedule.
Yeah.
And so being in this journey, being entrepreneur and just pushing, especially with us doing the podcast, is like we have to find time. And then both of us do modeling, acting, podcasting, so people don't realize that you just have to make time where there really isn't time, unfortunately.
Right. That's what I had to do today because I worked till 4:30. And then I had to find time to go to the gym. Like I needed to go to the gym. So I did an hour. Like I usually do a little bit more, but I was like, at least I got something in, so you got to find time. Like you got to squeeze it in there somewhere,
Absolutely. And I salute you because you are going to the gym, taking care of yourself, putting that best foot forward para cuidarte. Because this is the temple that God gave us, right? And that's one of those things. Yo me fijo que mucha gente, no sé por qué, I don't know why, a lot of people as they age, they like let themselves go versus really like taking care of yourself. Yeah, I get it. You're older, tienes muchas responsabilidades, estás cansada, cansado. It's like, Pero when you make time for you, it really helps to make things better for everybody, not just for yourself, but you'll feel better mentally, physically, emotionally. Just I highly encourage you, whoever's watching and listening, if you feel like you can do better, because your gut is going to tell you, have that gut feeling like, I can do better to take care of myself, do that, please. Right. There's only one you. Una persona que solamente eres tú. Nobody else is like you in this world. Take care of you, because si no te cuidas, ¿quién te va a cuidar?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And all those aches and pains that mucha de la gente tiene porque no hacen nada, no hacen ejercicio. Van para el trabajo y regresan para la casa, cocinan y se sientan en frente del televisor. And then they get up, mi espalda, or mi rodilla. Go to the gym for at least an hour, and if you already have pains, vete para una piscina. Do some water aerobics.
Yeah.
And it's better for the joints because the water kind of holds you and levitates you in the water, and you get a good workout in the water. So
I believe it.
So you have to want to get better, because there was a time in my life where I was the same way. Like I wouldn't go to the gym, and I was gaining weight, and I was looking at pictures yesterday, and I was like, wow, I lost a lot of weight. And it was just that one day I was like, I'm tired of breathing heavy and just looking this way, and feeling like everybody's looking at me because I'm heavy, So I started going back to the gym, and it's a struggle porque de salir del trabajo a las 4:30 y ir para el gimnasio, and I'm tired. I'll just work 10 hours, pero tiene que hacer la fuerza.
Yeah, you're motivated.
Yeah, so plus I got a fashion show coming up, so I'm kind of dieting, because I gotta look good in my outfits. So,
okay. Well, I'm sure you're gonna knock them dead at the fashion show. You and all the other models. So it's gonna be great. When is the fashion show?
On the 2nd of November. We just did Saturday. We went to a in-person rehearsal, and the fashion show was in Orlando, and that's like 2 hours for me, 2.5 hours. So we had to go Saturday, and we came back, Saturday, pero we actually got to see where the fashion show was going to be, walk the actual runway. None of the designers were there, but I already know what I'm wearing for one of the designers. I don't know the other one, but the other one has like African style clothing, so that's going to be interesting.
That is interesting.
I'm not going to say what it is. It's going to be really cool, and I can't wait. I already got the outfit. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing.
Well, I'm excited to see the pictures. I'm sure that the audience wants to see the pictures too.
Yes, I can't wait. Yes, I'm excited.
So, Manny, you are in the Florida area, and recently Milton passed your area.
Yes.
Well, Florida.
Right.
And from what I was reading, it affected certain parts of Florida. Thankfully, you're good.
I was good. Thankfully. God, thank God that just like Helene, I think that was the other one's name. It just gave us some winds and some rain, and that's about it. But it hit Tampa and parts of Orlando really hard, but it hit Tampa really bad because that's when it made landfall in Tampa. Yeah, like the stadium in Tampa, I believe it's really bad. They got to reconstruct it. So, prayers out to the people out there. There's some people in Orlando that still don't have power, and it's already over 5 days. So,
Wow.
It was bad, but it could have been worse. But I'm hearing that there's another one off the coast again. So
really,
yeah. So hopefully it just says, nah, I'm good. I'm just gonna stay out here.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. And so the reason why I'm actually bringing it up is because I have been hearing, and I've heard this for a while, specifically, but I just recently decided for the sake of the show and to educate myself and you and the listeners and audience who may not know, I came across under haarp.gi.alaska.edu a system, University of Alaska Fairbanks, is called the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, called the HARP program. And it is a scientific endeavor aimed at studying the properties and behavior of the ionosphere. The ionosphere stretches roughly 50 to 400 miles above Earth's surface, right at the edge of the space. And I'm reading this from their website. And so when I looked at the definition of the ionosphere, it's the layer of the Earth's atmosphere that contains a high concentrations of ions and free electrons and is able to reflect radio waves. It lies above the mesosphere and extends from about 50 to 600 miles above the Earth's surface. And so why this is important is because there's a lot of speculation or thought or notion that the individuals testing the HARP machine is what's causing manipulation in the weather, thus causing a lot of hurricanes and things of that nature. When I read this to you, what are your thoughts? Do you have any thoughts? What comes, if anything?
A while ago, I heard something about that, but they don't really talk about that a lot in the news because they don't want people to, speculate. So I believe that they are manipulating something because, like, Helene came and then Milton came right behind, and it wasn't even 2 weeks. It was like a week.
Right.
I think it was 2 weeks. Something like that, but they were so close. Yeah, they were so close, and it's just like it has to be something. They have to be doing something. Right.
And I feel you.
Yeah,
I agree with that. And although it's interesting because I looked at the frequently asked questions, right? And so there's a question that apparently was asked with regards to just overall the HARP, and does it manipulate or control the weather? And what was interesting was it says no. It says radio waves and the frequency ranges that HARP transmits are not absorbed in either the troposphere or the stratosphere.
Right.
To me, it's like I'll correlate it to, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just correlating it too far off, but like a dog, right? If you keep poking at the dog, poke,
right.
It's not going to bite you at first, but eventually what's going to happen is going to bite you. Exactly. And so when I'm correlating it to this machine, it's like, okay, you keep playing with it and messing with it. I mean, what do we think is going to happen to the world? Like, come on. It doesn't take a rocket science to put that 2 and 2 together.
Exactly.
But hey, who am I, right? I mean,
I was just talking to, and this is completely off the subject, sort of, but I was just talking to somebody yesterday about, because we were watching the movie and a commercial came on for that PrEP for HIV.
Okay.
And I was like, it's crazy that how the government works. Like, they're the ones that created the virus, and now you have to pay to get the medication to save your life.
Big pharma.
And it's like, they can cure, they found cures for a whole bunch of things, but they haven't found cures for HIV or cancer. And I believe that is because they make too much money, so it's like, that's their cash cow. So why would they cure something? Which means, which I feel like they don't really care about us, and it's like, I looked at a video on Instagram one day, and it was talking about the history of Puerto Rico and how this doctor, this American doctor, went over there and started experimenting on women and made a lot of them sterile. And he was just doing a lot of experiments, and then eventually they kicked him out of Puerto Rico, and because they found a letter that he said he was experimenting on them and he didn't really care. He wanted to do his research, and his research was more important than us. It's wow.
That is wild.
So to say that, I believe that they manipulate everything else. So why would they manipulate the weather? Because I feel like they feel like there's too many people on the planet, so they're trying to get rid of some of us, in any way, shape, or form.
And they're trying to make it look as natural as possible. Died of natural causes.
Exactly.
But hey, well, let's turn this negative into a positive, because I mean, that was a lot of food for thought. So the takeaway from that is, individuals listening, watching, please do your research, do your homework. This is information that we're sharing from you. This is available to the public. I went under the haarp.gi.alaska.edu for the HARP machine with regards to what Mandy is talking about, pharmaceutical companies. It's like the game Monopoly when you were a kid, when you played Monopoly. Who's going to have the bigger pockets?
Exactly.
2 and 2 equals 4, right? If there's a problem and Big Pharma is getting all this money, do you really think that they're going to do their best to cure you?
Exactly.
Just think about that. Food for thought right there.
Look at how long it took them to regulate the pills, oxycodone and stuff like that. They were making so much money. Like, they didn't really care. They were just making money, until people started dying and overdosing. Then the government was like, well, okay, we have to step in now. You're doing too much.
To an extent, right?
Right, exactly.
To an extent. Well, Manny, we have an amazing guest that I'm about to introduce, and he is ready for us. He is waiting, and we're excited to have him on Hoy en Día TV. So this guest, born in Coney Island, Brooklyn, Brooklyn, began his acting career at age 48 with Captain America: Civil War, and while facing homelessness. So that is an interesting story already in itself. Since then, he has become a SAG actor, with roles in major films like Wakanda Forever, Avengers Endgame, Jumanji, The Next Level, and he's also appeared in TV shows such as Our Kind of People and Mr. Mercedes. In addition to acting, this individual, because I'm leaving the name to the end, just building that suspense, owns Amethyst On Fire TV, a Roku channel, and serves as Vice President of English Promotions LLC. Inspiring journey from homelessness to Hollywood is one to watch and offers a great motivation to push forward in life. So on this episode of Hoy en Día TV, I am excited to announce our special guest, Brent Moorer Gaskins. Welcome to Hoy en Día TV.
Hola, mi familia.
I was getting goosebumps over here. What's going on, brother?
Oh man, nothing much, man. One day at a time. That's all we get. One day at a time.
Sir. Yes, sir.
How y'all doing?
On, man. Finally meet you. Like this man right here. When I first started vending with my book, I met Robin Shockley. Shout out to Robin Shockley through him, and I believe I met you through him, if I'm not mistaken. Somehow, some way.
I think I met you through Fitz. If I remember correctly.
Yeah. But I had never met the guy, but it was like what he has that a lot of people that are in his position don't have is a heart. You know what I'm saying? He's not one of those gatekeeping people. Like he wants people to win, just like he is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I never knew the guy. He was like, yeah, talk to this person, that person. And I'm like, yo, and that got me started on a lot of different things. It definitely pushed me to a different level in my career, and I appreciate that. And now we're finally, face to face, which is awesome.
That is beautiful.
Well, sort of face to face, but
virtually.
Right.
Well, so that is amazing. Yes. Right. Tell us, who is Brent Moorer Gaskins? Tell us, because we want to know. I mean, I know I gave a high level overvy, but I'm sure there's a lot more to that.
That was definitely an awesome. I'm gonna try to top that next time we have a guest. We're gonna battle. The intro battle is what it's gonna be.
Battle the intros.
Right.
All right. First of all, thank you guys for allowing me this opportunity to be a part of your platform.
You're welcome.
Yes, you're welcome.
I don't take human interaction lightly at all. I do want to say this before I get started, and unfortunately, this might be a bad.
Uh-oh.
I think we lost you, Brent.
Yeah, you froze.
Okay, it's okay. He'll come back.
Yep, he'll be back.
Yeah, he'll be back. But yeah, that's amazing that you while he comes back. Yeah, so I have that philosophy when people help each other and you want to see another person win, that's how you keep getting blessed. That's why you keep getting blessed, is because you're helping people. Yo siento honestamente que este es el propósito de muchos de nuestros aquí, que estamos en este mundo para ayudarnos, porque la vida es difícil. Life is not easy. And so when you take it upon yourself to help one another and to want to see other people grow, then guess what? You're going to keep getting blessed.
All right.
You're going to keep getting blessed.
It's definitely difficult. And there's a lot of people out there that don't want to see you win. Like they want you to see what they're doing and envy them. And it's like, I can't get with, people like that. That energy, I just can't do that energy, It's just weird to me. Like everybody could eat, everybody could be successful and follow their dreams. And being that you have already opened the door and, crack it for me, you know what I'm saying? Like open the door so I can come in, you know what I'm saying? Don't be one of those people. Like that's just weird to me.
Right. Absolutely. He's getting himself together. It looks like he's trying to log back in. So,
okay.
But with Brent, I've known him for a long time, years. I can't remember when I first met Brent. That's how long it's been. And he's always been positive, uplifting, and just very vibrant, bubbly, great personality, great individual. And I'm truly happy that God is continuing to bless him, bless his platform, businesses, and just growing overall. Truly, truly remarkable.
All right. Now I didn't know he was in what did you say? Wakanda. But with Captain America, he was in Captain America. I'm gonna have to rewatch that one to see if I can.
Captain America, Civil War, Wakanda Forever, Avengers, Endgame, and Jumanji the next. And Mr. Mercedes and Our Kind of People. Those are some of the. I mean, he's been in other stuff, but those are some of the main ones that he's done.
I'm gonna have to rewatch him. Be like, hey, that's Brent right there. I know that guy.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, in this industry, I mean, even with him starting at age 48.
Mm-hmm.
It's just about pushing, it's about pushing, networking, always putting your best foot forward, always making sure that you're ready, because opportunities are going to come. And it's up to you to really vet it out too, because let me say this, for those serious about this, yes, opportunity is going to come, but you don't always have to say yes to those opportunities, because they may not be lucrative or fulfilling for you, right? You don't want to be that yes person, like yes, sound or look desperate. Really sit down and say, okay, these are the opportunities on the table. Where do I see myself? What do I hope to gain out of each and every one of them?
Right.
And then go from there.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as it aligns with what you feel your purpose and your mission is, then hey, by all means, go for it. But just be mindful that not every opportunity may be a good one for you, because there may be other things that God may be protecting you from.
Yep. I had that opportunity that happened to me. I had an opportunity that I was working on, and then it wasn't going the way that my energy was, so
Yep.
I had to leave that alone. And part of me was like, well, what if this situation blows up, and then I leave, and then now I'm not part of it, and I could have been a part of it, but I sat down and thought to myself, and I was like, do you want that type of success? Like, do you don't want to be known as that guy that does whatever it takes? Let me rephrase that. You don't want to be that person that does whatever just to get what you in your journey. Have self-respect for yourself and your brand, because essentially you're a brand,
Right.
You don't want to drag your brand down trying to chase somebody that isn't right for you. Do what it takes, but do it respectfully and within your boundaries.
Yeah.
It wasn't conducive to what I was trying to do and the people that I was trying to align myself with, so I had to abandon that situation.
Yeah.
And at first I regretted it, but now it's like I'm glad, and if the person is successful, then good for him. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't wish bad on anybody,
Right.
but I just wasn't. It wasn't meant for me to be a part of that situation.
Yep. And I feel you. And I've had that in my situation as well, early in my career, where I've realized that not every opportunity was for me. And I was okay with that, especially looking at the big picture, because sometimes when opportunities come, you really have to, even if they look amazing or exciting, you have to think about the bigger picture. What is it that I have to gain, but what is it that I have to lose, if anything?
Right.
Let's say, for example, if somebody decides to take a leap of faith and now they're going to be gone for like a month, but then realistically you have a family to take care of, you have bills to pay, you have a job, like you're going to lose all of that possibly, because if you're going to be gone for a month, and then what do you expect to come back and everything's going to be back to normal? No, things change, life goes on. And these are things that you have to weigh, the good and the bad, and decide, how am I going to proceed? Or thinking logically, how am I going to make all of this work? Because things can work out. You just have to plan.
Right.
And I notice a lot of people don't do that for some reason. They just say yeah, and then it's like, okay, the time is here, and then what did you do to plan? Oh, I'm just here. No, that's not how this works at all. So
Nope.
oh, looks like we have him back on. Let's bring back on Brent to the stage.
All right.
How's it going?
Yes.
Welcome back.
Shining now. See all that shine right there?
You are funny.
Yes. Let's go.
Yes.
All right.
So,
Go ahead.
who is Mr. Brent Moorer Gaskins? Tell us. Tell the audience, listeners, and us.
All right. I'm going to start over for the sake of the recording.
Of course.
Hello, everyone. Again, thank you for your platform. I love you guys. I appreciate it. My name is Brent Moorer Gaskins. I am a 9-year actor since 2015, June 24th. Captain America 3, like you guys said earlier, was my first movie role on Captain America 3 Civil War. Myself and my fiance, Ebony Joy, we co-own a lot of businesses together. Amethyst On Fire Entertainment, LLC. We have the Amethyst On Fire Roku channel, 88.1 million households. I am the vice president of a global organic promotions company called English Promotions LLC that's owned by Lisa English. I'm the vice president. We just picked up a 6-month contract to help the world-renowned Russ College a cappella choir, 60 members, the only college choir, and the only HBCU in all of the United States that got selected to Verona, Italy for a 36-year anniversary competition. The only college.
That's amazing.
Right here, this little small town. So we partnered with them, the promotions company, myself, and another promoter by the name of Danny Boy Entertainment. He's legendary around here, to help these kids raise this money to go to Italy.
Wow.
So we have a big, huge concert coming up on October 27th at the Russ College Doxy Theater. It only seats 640 people. Tickets are going fast. But we also have employed the Roku TV channel where we can have an unlimited number of people watching it live from their home.
That's awesome.
On their phone, tablet, or the channel on the TV. So yeah, I do a lot of stuff. I've been knowing Yessie for a long time, you as well for a long time. I call Yessie my sister. I call you my brother. And again, you guys know me. I've had intimate conversations as far as telling you guys my headspace and where I come from with having gone through homelessness.
Right.
Understanding and appreciating that I don't have time to be cute. I don't have time to be pretty. You know, people talk about the Bible and God. If you really believe what's said in the Bible, then you would not sit down with an idle day in your life.
Right.
If you really believe that no man knows the day or the hour when God is going to come back for you, you would not have, you wouldn't wake up one day and be like, oh, well, I'm not worried about nothing that I really got to do. I'm not worried about my purpose. I'm not worried about bringing somebody up on a higher level. I'm not worried about enriching anyone's life. None of us have none of that time for that. So that's it, man. I'm here to do what I've been called to do. And I tell people, they say, well, is acting your purpose? No, acting is a tool that can be used as a platform, a center of influence. If I keep going up, where people will hear not just my voice, but what I have to say.
Absolutely.
So being that God has blessed me with those opportunities, such as this interview right here, now is the time to encourage, uplift, tell people not to give up. Homelessness is not the end of your life. Bad relationships is not the end of your life. Bad relationships, I'm talking about between two individuals. I'm talking about family members. I'm talking about husband and wife. I'm talking about brother and sister.
Right.
Anything that, if you're living on top of this earth right now and that other person is living, if something is wrong, you do have the opportunity to get it right. You can't never say that you didn't have the chance as long as you're living. If you're living, that is your chance to get it right.
Right.
And I heard a preacher say a long time ago, he was talking about marriages, and he said the way him and his wife stayed married is that they both agreed that whenever they got into a disagreement, it was always each of their turn to apologize first. So they were racing to get out of the argument to get to the, hey, we why are we arguing? So they spent more time, they said, disagreeing about who needs to apologize first versus the actual argument itself. But that's a beautiful thing.
Right.
Yeah, so that's it. I'm here. Shoot the questions. Let's go.
Okay. Well, I want to take it all the way to the beginning, to when you were growing up. So tell us, how was your upbringing? Because you, Coney Island, Brooklyn. I was born in Brooklyn. Hey, Brooklyn.
Hey.
How was that upbringing? And then how did that transition into how you started, when you experienced homelessness?
Okay, so let's start from Brooklyn, February 21st, 1967, Brooklyn Women's Hospital. Again, the youngest of 9. Louise Pons Gaskins, my mother. My father, Herman Moorer, Moorer. That last name is the last name that ties me into some celebrities that have already kind of made it already. One of the most notable ones being MC Light, aka Lana Moorer.
Nice.
Okay.
So I've met her at the family reunions. My first, let me back up. Okay, so boom. All right, so moved from New York. I didn't attend public schools there, but my dreams started in Brooklyn. We lived in the projects on the 18th floor, and my brother Joe, he was a big, huge comic book aficionado, and so since he babysat me a lot, I think he worked third shift. So when he came in the morning and everybody else is out the house and I'm the baby and I'm in the house, I'm not in the school system. His way of babysitting me was making sure I had something to eat, a pile of comic books, Marvel, DC,
right,
and a TV. And I let him sleep, and I was traveling to other worlds.
right.
Wow.
I had superpowers. I was the Black Panther. I'm Batman. Tell your friends. I was all of these different people. You know what I mean? And then when I got tired of reading and wanted to watch TV, when the time came and certain little programs came on that I liked, I used to watch the kid actors and actresses, and I'd be like, "Oh man, shoot! I could have did better than that." That's me, the little kid me. Oh, I could do that. So that's when I started dreaming about acting. And then when I entered the school system after we moved to South Carolina, here comes the straight A student. So my focus got ripped from my dreaming to what a lot of people get directed into. Oh, go to school, get your education, make good grades, go to college, graduate, get a good job, get your finances together, get a house, have it ready, get married, have some kids, 2 kids and a dog and the white fence. Do that for 30, 40 years, retire, get the watch. And then when you're probably too old to enjoy it or your health has declined, now you're trying to retire.
Right.
And there was something about that when I entered the school system. Even though I was a straight A student, when it came to the academics, I was also very intelligent when it came to common sense. And something for me wasn't adding up with, this can't be all of what's being offered. So even after I went through high school, I was an honor graduate. I graduated from W.J. Keenan High School in Columbia, South Carolina. I was one of the honor graduates. I was the first recipient of what was called the W.G. Sanders Scholarship, which was my middle school, W.G. Sanders, the principal, that was his name, W.G. Sanders. So when he passed away, the first scholarship that was given to me as a student graduating from high school. Went to the University of South Carolina engineering program for 2 years. Both my lungs collapsed in high school, started with middle school through high school. So when I graduated, against my doctor's advice, because I was so driven, I still went to college, engineering program, one of 3 African Americans in that program back at that time in 1985. I attended the University of South Carolina with Ryan Bethea and Sterling Sharp. That's when I came through University of South Carolina. A lot of people know who Ryan Bethea is. That's a whole other conversation. But anyway, so after 2 years of college, I didn't graduate. I just went into the work system and ended up doing a lot of sales, mortgage banking, cellular phone sales. I work for Verizon. I'm a certified master mortgage underwriter right now. But again, I don't use that unless I really need to use it. I'm really trying to stay focused in the vein of what's in front of us right now. And because we picked up this huge contract, which is continually growing, I may not have to go and jump on somebody's job just to fill a gap. I think sooner or later, this is going to really overtake everything that we're doing. Fast forward, 48 years old, working for a pharmaceutical company in Charlotte called Qualitest. They promised us temp to hire after 90 days. I was there 10 months. I went and knocked on the door on HR and said, hey, it hadn't been 90 days. It's been 300 days. So when is this promotion coming? They're like, oh, we're being brought out. There's going to be a merger. They laid us off, gave us a package. And she asked me, what are you going to do, Mr. Gaskins? Are you going to go find another pharmaceutical company? I said, no, ma'am. I'm going to be an actor. And that was in May of 2015. June 24th, I was on the set of Captain America 3 Civil War in Atlanta. And shortly thereafter, was in a relationship. The person in the relationship got sick. We made sure that person got nursed back to health. I used my mortgage banking background to make sure that the home that we all were living in didn't go into foreclosure. We got the modification done. We saved a vehicle. We brought another vehicle at an auction. And I had this epiphany while my then partner had a stroke and was going through rehabilitation, and God gave me an epiphany. And in that epiphany, he showed me some things, and he answered a lot of questions that I had about life, about being here, about what is the reason that we as human beings are created, and why do we as human beings charge each other with how we live when there's a reason behind all of this and how it happens. So at first, God showed me what I was going to go through and with the homelessness, but he also showed me what was on the other side of that homelessness. And I said, okay, God, let's go. So I knew I was going to be homeless. So 2 days later, she came back and said, I don't know whether to hug you or hit you. You need to leave my house.
Wow.
And I said, well, can I use the car that we bought at the auction that's not running that good, but it did drive. I mean, that's why we bought it. Was going to fix it up. Can I at least have that car? And, I'm always going to do something I'm not going to never stay where I'm at. So I'm not going to always be in the situation that you just now put me in. But if I got the car, I can go to movie sets. I can sleep in the car. I can do whatever I need to do. And she said, no, me and my kids need it.
Wow.
I said, okay. So I left from there. I was in the streets for a couple of days. I slept behind a TV store. And he had an old broom outside the store in the back. And I would sweep around the store at night and watch whatever TV channels he left on at night. And one day I came into the store, not acting like I was homeless, but acting like a customer. And I purposely turned one of the TVs that I could see from outside of the store to a certain channel because I wanted to see if I could catch what I heard was a program that I was in, if I could catch it on TV. And that day I went in the store, that program came on that night, and I saw myself on TV.
Wow.
And that's when I started smiling about being homeless. I still hurt, still felt bad.
Right.
God also told me to make it public. So I put it on social media. I put it on Facebook. I put it on Instagram. And my family hit me in my inbox. They're like, what are you doing? Why are you telling everybody you're homeless on Facebook and Instagram? I said, because God told me to do it. So now that you know, you're gonna help me. You can see, you can look at my information. I can't make up pictures of me being on a movie set and Chadwick Boseman is over here, Scarlett Johansson is sitting right behind me. I can't make that stuff up. I know we got AI and people can, but I'm there on set. I'm doing lives. I'm really making movies now. Y'all see what I'm doing. So are you gonna help me? Anyway, moving on. God had to talk to me and let me know that He is my source, not the people who I was going to get stuff or try to get stuff because I was homeless. Right. He also taught me in that homelessness how to learn to open my mouth and ask exactly for what I want.
Right.
There's a key in asking for it. Right. There's a key in opening your mouth and telling someone, hey man, I'm in a situation right now. It's not going to be forever, but right now I need your help. I need money so I can go take a shower. I need money so I can not sleep outside tonight. I need money so I can eat something. God taught me how to learn. He taught me how to learn how to ask for anything that I want. And that has helped me because I haven't, in 9 years, haven't had major agent representation. So everything you see on my IMDb has been me beating the pavement, other people who thought enough of me that when they landed a project, they referred me or called me in and they tell the director, hey, you making this movie? I know a guy, man, this guy, he's a good guy. He ain't gonna come to the set and try to sleep with everybody on the set. He's very protective of women. He knows how to improv. He has great range. This guy can fill this role right here. I see the breakdown and this guy, you want me to reach out to him for you? Those kind of people. Yes, he has done that for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So those are the things that I was implementing when I first got into the entertainment industry. Myself and Mike Miles did the Hollywood Life podcast. And if you look at the first one to the last one, we always got on there and said, hey guys, let's bring the North Carolina film community together and create something great together. Why do we have all these separate movies, separate cliques? Let's take 5 strong production teams. Y'all bring all of y'all equipment. Y'all bring all of y'all staff. Y'all bring all of y'all writers. Let's sit in the room. Let's get the writers to write us 10 scripts, 10 short films, X amount of pages. We're all going to sit in the room and collectively vote. We ain't going to put no name on who wrote what. We're going to vote on it. We're going to pick 5 projects that we're going to do. We're going to prioritize them based off of the number of votes. We're going to take that first project. We're going to put together all of our equipment that we got, all these 4K red cameras and light systems over here. We're going to get the best guys that do the best sound with the best equipment. We're going to get the best grip team with the best lighting. We already got the best writers to write us the best story. Now let's fill it with the best actors we have out of our own pool and create a major feature film right here in North Carolina. There's some of us that got great amounts of money that can finance something that we can get done. Of course, if they're financing it, they would have the greater return on the production end. And if you really believe in it like you say you do, then put your money up. Stop talking about it. Right. So I was trying to create that unity in North Carolina for us to be a major film player in the film industry. And the reason why I did that is because when I was homeless, I asked Siri, now that people are homeless, what is everybody doing that we're in now that everybody is in a pandemic, what are they doing? Siri said, watching TV. That's what clicked in my head to go get a TV channel. Mm-hmm. Because if you can't leave your house, or if you're getting older, or if the outside environment gets so bad, you don't want to go to the movie theater to see this or go to this public place to see that, you can stay in the comfort of your home, pay a subscription amount or pay the content amount for what you want to see and enjoy anything you want to do. Right. That was my total purpose and focus when I was in North Carolina. Let's get together and build something, man, and stop all of this. You got the same 4 and 5 people in every single movie. All the movie posters look the same. The acting is the same. Storylines is the same. How many times are we going to do this? Right. So, I agree.
Preach.
So, again, even all of that was part of my journey. God said, I'm going to take you somewhere. Everybody ain't going with you. That's why I allowed you to be homeless, so I can trim the fat. I want you to really see who got your back and who don't. Listen, and that's nothing bad against my family or anybody else. If you didn't help me and I asked you for help, that's nothing bad against you.
Right.
That was just things that I needed to know. God had to show me some things. He said, you love everybody, and that's your problem. He said, now, listen, loving, and when I say love everybody, I mean as in, I can't sit down. Even people who I don't get along with, I don't hate you. I still love you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He said, but everybody you love ain't loving you. And you can't see that. Your love is so great, reaching out to love on these people, you can't see what you're not getting back. And that's why a lot of times people who are gifted and people who are empaths, they are the most drained people in the world that you will ever meet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because they're always giving, and what they do, when you're a giver, you're going to give everything you got. You don't put no holds on what you got. I mean, you're sensible. You ain't going to give till you out, and you messed up now. But you give until you can't give no more. But then when you're an empath, now you're picking up a lot of spiritual and emotional things that it can weigh you down. So if you're giving everything out that you got, and the only thing you're bringing in is the weight of the world, you got to find a way to deal with that. So God showed me how to balance that as well. I had to become a little more muscular in my emotions.
Okay.
I had to learn how to tell people no.
Right.
I had to learn how to tell people, no, I'm not doing that. I turned down a role recently, about a month and a half, 2 months ago. It probably would have paid when the project was finished, because it was a feature film and this was one of the main characters. When it would have finished, it probably would have paid about $250,000. Now, do I need that money? Or could I have done a whole lot with that money for all the stuff I was talking about doing? Absolutely.
Right.
But did I accept the role? No. Why? Because they wanted me to wear a dress.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm in the entertainment world and in the entertainment industry. Let me get close up on this camera with the cross eyes. But I am not Hollywood. There is a difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That is wild.
Yeah.
That is
Go ahead.
wild.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because while you were, getting everything together with the camera, that is something that me and Manny were talking about. And I specifically said the same thing. Not every opportunity that looks good is a good opportunity.
Exactly.
And in your example, you knew that this wasn't about you, because you not only it was going to go against your moral code, but your integrity.
Right. Exactly.
And so, yeah, it's great money. Okay, great. But at the end of the day, that's really going to damage you who you are. So I salute you.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that you confirmed exactly what me and Manny were talking about, because that is exactly what I was reminding people. Not every opportunity is a good opportunity. Stop being that yes person to everything. You're not only draining yourself, but now you're on all these different things, and you're like, you're getting yourself confused. What is your purpose? What is your path if you're saying yes to everything?
Right.
Absolutely. And while you're right there at that point, the perfect example. So yes, if I cast you to be the Hispanic girlfriend of, let's just say, a baseball player, right? I cast you for that. Okay. So we do that movie. Then I come back, 2 months later and say, hey, Yessie, oh man, we got another project going. I got a role for you. And you say, what is it? And I said, well, got this movie, got about this guy. He's not a baseball player. This time he's a football player. And we want you to play his wife. Then I come back to you 2 months later and say, hey, Yessie. You be like, yeah, Brent, I got some more work for you. Awesome. Does it pay? Yeah, it pays real good. Well, what's the role? Well, I want you to be the Hispanic wife of a big-time music producer. Every time you accept that role, Yessie, to be the wife of whoever, the Hispanic wife of whoever, you are participating in typecasting yourself.
Right.
Absolutely.
Nobody in the industry can typecast you unless you continually to accept the exact same role in the exact same kind of movies.
Yep. That is a valid, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. You are correct.
But you have to have a line.
Right.
You have to have a line. You have to have a line. You can. we're getting ready to do some filming here in Mississippi, in where I live at, and it's going to be the same thing that it has always been. You got the. When people come to our sets, we also want to teach them what we really believe in and what we exercise. There's not one single person from anywhere on any set can come to you and say, "Oh, hey, Brent said this and that and this and that," just to try to get next to me. Not one person. Not one person. Not one person. Not one single person. But we also have the responsibility, ladies and gentlemen, of calling out the people who we know are messing up the industry, and they're out there ruining people who we say we're friends with and we work with and we love and we embrace who they are as a human being.
Right.
There's no way in the world I'm gonna tell you, Manny, as a brother, I love you and I appreciate who you are as a king. There's no way I can look on your face and tell you that and then refer you to a project where I know the director is going to try to sleep with you, even though he know you a man. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I can't call myself your friend if I'm doing stuff like that.
Right.
Yes, if you hit me up and ask me about somebody because you say you researched the person and you saw that he and I was on a couple of posts together and he's trying to recruit you for a movie, when you ask me about that person's character, I'm going to tell you exactly about that person's character. And that's why I tell people there's nothing that I'll say about you that I won't say to you, to your face.
Right.
Whenever whenever it comes to quote unquote name dropping. So if I drop a name and say this person's name, what I said about you to anybody else or anywhere else, I'll say it to your face.
Right.
That's just real human communication, that's just being real.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And I love and respect that. And I wish more people were like that, Brent. And it's so sad because people are quick to sugarcoat and and then go and talk behind people's back. But why? Talk to us. Talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not in high school anymore. That's high school BS. We're grown adults.
Right.
Let's start like grown adults. If you got something to say, let's talk.
Right.
Now, I will say this. People with communication, they should have a little bit more tact, because earlier I was dealing with an individual. I was on the phone with her and her tact was off and she knew she was in the wrong, but she still had an attitude. And I'm thinking in my head, I don't know, maybe she had a bad day or something. I don't know. But the tact and the delivery of the message could have been improved. And so I'm saying this to say to the listener and the audience, be mindful of how you're delivering the message, because sometimes if your deliverance is too strong, depending on the receiver, they may not openly receive it because you're not adequately delivering it in a respectful manner.
Right.
And vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Vibrations, and when we speak, we create a vibration. We create a frequency.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you have somebody like a Billie Eilish that has this group of followers, because they're tuned into her frequency when she makes her music.
Right.
Right.
So everybody has a vibration in the frequency when they speak. The other part of communicating is not just the sound you make when you talk, but your choice of words and the energy behind it. And then your body falls in last with facial expressions and things of that nature.
Right.
Yeah. Because if you watch people talk, see, like I was looking at Yessie when I said what I said, she was shaking her head in agreement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you look at, sometimes you'll talk to people and they'll say something and they'll say, "Yep, I agree."
Right.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. I agree. But their body language is saying no. They're telling you they agree.
Right.
But their body language is like, no. Yeah, man. Hey, man. I hear you, bro. Hey, I agree. Hey, man. Hey, it is what it is. You have to watch small things like that when it comes to communication. So, I'm not saying I'm an expert or no prophet or nothing like that, but I do know that I have gifts that when I meet a person, I can feel and read spirits. You know what I mean? I can feel energy. And if you got a funky energy, I'll limit your interaction to me. I won't turn you on to anybody that I know. If you meet them, you'll meet them on your own.
Right.
But I'm not gonna bring you in that space with them. I'm not doing that. Yep. If I know about you and I can handle you and deal with you because our business is limited based on whatever it is, it doesn't matter whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And I know that even though I'm doing business with you, you can't get no exposure nowhere else unless I expose you. I don't deal with bad people, man. Life is too short for that. We already got bad people running the country. We got bad people running the entertainment industry. We got bad people running the news. We got bad people policing. We got bad people in the courtroom. Bad people are everywhere. Everywhere. And that's why I was telling people, I don't care who you vote for, because either you're going to vote or you're going to not. And if you do vote, you're going to make a decision. I don't care about none of that. But what I do care about is a country that calls itself united, but yet we have 50 different states. And every state has their own laws, rules, and regulations. Right. You can smoke marijuana in this state with no problem. You go to this one, you going to jail. Right. Medical card or not.
Right.
Preach. Yes.
If we're such the United States, then why do we have all these different parties when it comes to election? Right. Why isn't there no party at all? Nobody has a party affiliation. Now, if you strip away the party, because that's an ideology that people affiliate with, red versus blue. Right. The same government. Listen to this now. I'm about to trip y'all out, and then we can move on to something else.
No, go. I love it. Food for thought.
The same government, right? That did a huge crackdown on Crips and Bloods. Right. Red and blue. Am I right?
Yep.
Right.
I already knew where you were going.
Party.
Right. I already knew where you were going.
What color Republicans?
Red. Right.
They're fighting.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Oh,
they're fighting. But yet we are the United States of America.
Mm-hmm. I already knew where he was going.
Certain people should never be put in front of us to be elected as a president.
Right.
You should have a more stringent qualification process.
Mm-hmm.
You should have at least this degree. You should have at least international relationships on your resume before you even call yourself stepping in front of a country that you're going to represent to the world.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You should have a background check. We should see if you was with an organization or organizations that were against the moral ground of what this country stands for.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's and I've been to jail before. 92 days, South Carolina. Okay, no big deal. Child support, because they was asking me to pay $200 a week. And the job I had when they said I need to pay $200 a week, like I'm some big time celebrity or something.
Right.
I lost that job 30 days later because it was a temp to perm job. The job ended 30 days later. But I still was under $200 a week, even though I was unemployed. I was still at $200 a week, even though my unemployment was only $135 a week. I was still at $200 a week in child support.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So Brett, in
now you freeze.
Now
continuing on the discussion that you were just mentioning about the government. Oh, can you see me?
Yeah, you froze.
Yeah. I'm here.
You're good now. Yeah, you're good now.
I'm here. This whole week and last week and the week after. So pretty much for the last, I would say, 6 weeks.
Okay.
No lie. Every day I've received, between me and my honey, we've received at least 3 to 4 different flyers about vote for Trump, vote for Kamala, do this, do that. Okay. And I'm thinking, wow, all this money that they're investing in flyers, not only to our household, but to all the households across America, hundreds and thousands of dollars.
Millions.
Yes,
of course.
But now we have Helene victims out in Western North Carolina, Milton victims out in Florida, families that are suffering. Why can't we take that money? Think this is for you all running for president. Get the party's money, get the Democratic money that you would invest in all these flyers, because we see y'all every day talking on the TV. We get it.
Right.
You don't need the extra investment of sending us flyers and paperwork that we're going to throw in the trash when you can get that money to invest in people and families that need this support.
Right. Absolutely.
Right.
But that's, they said that, I heard a gentleman said, and I started looking up, he said, if you study economics or economia that it's more of the study of lack.
Okay.
So they're basically saying you can't have an economy without lack. The sad part about it, the sad part about all of this, like you just said, they've raised hundreds of millions of dollars for these campaigns when it comes to a presidential election.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Not to include the millions that are raised for the local elections.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So one of our podcasters, her name is Angela Foxworth. She has the Angela Foxworth TV show. So we set it up for her to interview Yellow Pain, the rapper. He made a song called My Vote Don't Count. And then he made another one right behind it that says My Vote Does Count. Anyway, this song is so elementary with one of the baddest beats I ever heard. Ain't got no cursing or nothing in it. But it breaks down in the form of schoolhouse rock. Mm-hmm. The importance of voting, number one, because a lot of people say, oh, I don't vote. Well, okay, you're a part of the problem, but that's a whole nother discussion. But he makes it clear. He says, the president doesn't make any laws. They only pass what the legislative branch puts in front of them. Mm-hmm. They say yes or no to it.
Right.
The judicial branch is the reason why certain things happen where a guy can be brutalized by the police and the judges say, oh no, they were just doing their job, let them go. Mm-hmm. There's no way. Will you live in Florida, Manny?
Yes, sir.
There's no way Zimmerman should be walking around today. Period. Right. Not according to the law, he shouldn't be.
Right.
And so when we see this, why are we not? Here's my thing. When the Constitution for this country was written, it didn't include women or slaves. When the Constitution for this country was written, it's been modified, but it hasn't been changed. Mm-hmm. It was not written for women. Women didn't have the right to vote back then when the Constitution was written. Women got the right to vote when in 72 or somewhere when y'all was burning bras and stuff, Yessie?
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of women have forgotten. The same men that y'all supporting with these bad initiatives are the same men that said no more than 60, 70 years ago that you couldn't even vote. Women just got the right to vote recently as well. Right. Do you know that women couldn't buy a house by themselves unless they was married? Up until a certain year?
Wow.
Do your research.
Yeah, wow. I wasn't aware of that.
So we live in a society where there's a lot of things that we allow.
Right.
Let's just say that there's 100,000 people in government that run the United States. Let's just say, for instance. Mm-hmm. And how many people do we have in this country? About 7 to 8 billion.
Yeah.
But we got 100,000 people telling 8 billion people how to live. Right. We're going to make the decision that tells you how much money you get when you're unemployed, what your kids eat in the school system, what they're being educated with, by and for, whether they have school books or not, Wi-Fi, computers. It's 2024. Why aren't corporations who are expecting to have these same students possibly in their companies one day investing large amounts of money in our education and public school system?
Right.
We'll pay it. We'll pay. People are like, oh, I don't donate money. I don't give money. Yes, you do. Because I've seen you at the football games. Yep. Oh, you didn't know that the NFL is one of the biggest nonprofits in the world? So if you got a hat, jersey, or anything else from any team that you're supporting one of the biggest nonprofits in the world, when you sit down on a Sunday and watch football from the afternoon to at night, you don't know that you're supporting one of the biggest nonprofits in the world? Don't tell me you don't donate money. You do it, but you don't think you're doing it. Right. You think you're trading your money for something that you want, but you are donating to one of the largest nonprofits in the world. Exactly. So how is it that we can have multi-million-dollar stadiums, give a person who can run, throw, or catch a football or kick a football millions of dollars, but we can't say, let's take millions of dollars, let's address the problems in our local communities, homelessness, whatever it is. It's ridiculous. Why does Mississippi have the lowest income in the United States, but the highest grocery prices even higher than California? Tim, just tell me how that makes sense. I'll wait. I got time.
No, that makes zero sense.
Look it up. Google it. I did. That's how I found out.
I believe because they don't get monetary gain. If they contribute to the schools, they're not gaining anything right away. And that I think that's what they want, the big corporations. They want to gain that money right away, you know, and that profit. And that's why they subliminally make you, oh, you need to go to this game and you need to get this jersey and you need to, because they get that money. They don't really care about anything but making money.
Okay, but check this out though. And I want you all to just flash back just for a second. Me, I gotta go a little bit further because I'm a little bit older. when I was in high school, I don't ever remember the guidance counselor tell me, hey, Brent, you sing a little bit, you dance, you're very funny, you're great on improv, you're an excellent student, you're an AB honor roll student. When you graduate, what do you want to do? Oh, I might want to do this. Hey, Brent, why don't you go out and be an actor? Nobody never said that. Hey, Brent, why don't you, you've got great talent. Why don't you start recording some of this stuff you're doing and send it out and see if somebody likes it? Nobody said, hey, Brent, when you graduate, you know what you can do? You can be an entrepreneur.
Right.
You can own your own business. Now, if you had a guidance counselor that told either one of y'all that, I applaud them. But when I was coming through school, college, military, trade school,
big business,
the same economic system that only prepares you for a job.
Right. Exactly.
Brett, I will say this. Growing up, I actually attended Milwaukee High School of the Arts, and that's what I was focused on, was theater and music. Yep.
Different though.
I was on track to go to Juilliard, but I didn't pursue that. That was a different story, different day and time. But yes. So, but in my guidance counselor, that was the focus, because I chose from middle school to go to a high school that was focused on arts. Right. And it was also focused on education, because we had a lot of very smart, I was involved in AP classes. So I was able to get the best of both worlds. But thinking of that has to come from the individual transitioning from middle school to high school, and the parent support as well. Because I had to actually take the city bus for, at that time I was taking the city bus. It took me 2 hours to go to school and 2 hours to come back. So an investment, 4 hours of my day every day going to school, investing in my career as an actor and a musician.
Right.
So
man, everybody hates Chris. He had 3 hours back and forth. That's a ride. That's it. That's a commitment. And again, I can, even though I don't know, but I can sit here and guess and say, but Yessie, those things that you thought about then, don't you see how they play the part in your life now? Where you're at now?
Absolutely.
You, Manny?
What?
Something that you've done when you were younger, how it plays into who you are now. Anything that you've done when you were younger. Did you used to like to write? Did you used to like to dress and wear fly clothes?
Yes, I used to write short stories. I used to read books to escape reality because I was really shy. And I was really socially awkward when I was younger, because I was heavier and I was always self-conscious about myself. So I would read books to escape reality and enter that world that the writer created. So after a while, when I got older, I started writing my own stories to, create my own sub-realities. And then I read a book by the author named Zane. Sex Chronicles was the book that changed my life and made me actually take on the responsibility of writing a book and trying to navigate that world without formal education, because I've never been to, acting. Author, I never took any school.
Right.
But what I did was I consciously said, you know what, let me read some different books so I could see how they, their plots, how they do their build up, the transitions,
Yeah.
how they structure each chapter, how they name the chapter, and then how the name correlates to what's written in the chapter.
In the chapter, right.
And then, I just started understanding, and then I just created the story in my head like a movie. And that's what made me want to be an actor. Because when I created the book, um, Zane had created movies from a couple of her books, and I was like, well, I want to do that with this book. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I actually want to turn it into a series. I'm working on little short movies to make a trailer to try to get some sponsorship to help me start filming the series. But yeah, my father worked. My grandfather owned a mattress company when I was younger, but it was always, make sure you have a secure job so you could make money and survive. That was my parents' way of, thinking, and they kind of sheltered us when I was a kid. So I didn't really have a lot of interaction with the actual world. My world was whatever my parents put in front of me. So when I actually got into the actual reality of world, like, it was mind blowing. You know what I'm saying? And I had to catch up. I was like in my teens, and it was like I didn't know how to act around other people because all we did was hang out with family. I had friends in the neighborhood, but my mom was really overprotective, so it was mostly family. So it was like I had to do a lot of catching up because I was awkward. I didn't know, how people were supposed to act in the world. So yeah, it society builds you to become a worker for big companies, and it's just sad. They want you to go to college to be, somebody else's employee instead of trying to nurture that dream that you might have had when you were younger, um, or giving you an idea and spark that dream within you, that's been sitting dormant. And they don't do that because they want to feed these big corporations so they could make money, and it's really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
Awesome.
sad.
Awesome.
Right.
And Brett, just with your story in itself, it's
Right.
it's remarkable, and I thank you for sharing that with me, man, the listeners and the audience of OND. It's wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you, I salute you. Being homeless and you saying behind the TV shop and sweeping the area, looking at the TV, like that was you made it work. And look at where you're at today because you
Yeah.
didn't give up. You kept pushing, you had
Exactly.
that drive, you knew God had you the whole time, and there was just a little bump on the road.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Right.
that's truly remarkable. So for the person listening and viewing this right now, just know that when life throws those lemons at you, just like Brent did, he got those lemons and made it into lemonade. And now he's sipping away at the tasty lemonade that's making him lemonade.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't sipping yet. I'm waiting for them to finish filling the glass up, and then I'm gonna
Right.
put my
On your
ice
way.
and stir it up. Yeah. But yeah, no. When I you'll know when I'm sipping because
Uh,
we'll all be sipping and
exactly.
toasting together because
Exactly.
we gonna celebrate. Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Celebrate. I ain't got no fake glass.
Yeah, I don't have a glass in front of me. But yeah, I at one point in my life, I was homeless as well. It wasn't as bad as your situation. I actually had a car, but I was homeless for like 3 months in the wintertime, and my car didn't have any heat. So
Hmm.
you know, like, it's so many times in my life I wanted to give up. Like, I've been through a lot, and it's like when I survived colon cancer, I was like, I'm meant for something bigger than just, a 9 to 5 working for somebody else.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
didn't have the support system and the people in my circle that were like, well, yeah, we're gonna support you. Go follow your dream. I had to actually build a support system within myself. So that way, when I get to a point where it's like, where's this going? Or why do you keep going? My support system within me is like, because you have a goal. You're meant for something bigger than what these people want you to be,
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Yeah. It's difficult. And that's why I love Oyandia TV, because we show the real of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people in the world, they watch social media and they watch TV and they see the good parts, but they don't see the struggle that a lot of people go through until it's too late. Robin Williams, he committed suicide. What was the guy's name from Friends? He OD'd because he. Matthew Perry was his name.
Yeah.
He OD'd because he had an addiction. Just
reopened, by the way, and under investigation right now, I think, that case.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of different things that people don't see. They just see, what people they want people to see, and it's a lot. It's, you have to prepare yourself mentally for this type of environment, because if you don't, it's just going to swallow you whole, and you're going to be like, I can't do it, and quit. Yeah.
Do y'all remember when the mortgage industry went up, flipped upside down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was a loan officer then, right? And had been for, let me see, give me a second. So that would be,
it was back in like the 2000s, wasn't it? Early 2000s.
Yeah. So I had been in the mortgage banking industry for about I want to say about 7 or 8 years when that popped up. And here's the thing: when I was growing up, people who got on one job and stayed there were always the people who want to have a conversation about, why are you at this different job over here? Why are you at this different job over here?
Mm-hmm.
So I locked myself down because something inside me, I got tired of hearing it. So I locked myself down to the mortgage banking industry, right? Now, when the mortgage banking industry went belly up and upside down, companies were closing left or right. So I had to start jumping again to other companies that were still open, because I wanted to stay in the mortgage banking industry, trying to ride out this big, huge fallout.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I still had people came to me and was like, every time I turn around, you got a different job, you got a new job. And I said, but it's in the same industry, and I've been doing it for the last 8, 9, 10 years.
Right.
Is there anything that I do that counts? So then, I started getting to the point where I didn't give a shizzle about what other people thought. I got to that point, because I learned that as long as I kept hearing what everybody else had to say, everybody else had an opinion. Mm-hmm. Everybody else had an idea what they think you should be doing. Right. Some people want your life to be what their life was for them. They want you to take the route they took. And I think God builds us all differently. I think he gives us all different purposes, and I think he gives us all different paths that are part of that building process to make us who we need to be in that role.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know. I just learned to quiet all the other voices.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, God, what do you want me to do next?
All right.
I done been at my lowest. Ain't nothing you can ask me to do. I
Right.
I know some things I ain't gonna do, and you know that too. So I know you ain't gonna ask me that. But
Right.
What do you need me to do? What do you need me to show up as in order for somebody else to say, hey, my life isn't over. Look at this guy right here. He's still here. He made it. He went through that. He's still here. You know what I mean? I just think that collectively, again, I see a lot of individual stuff, including our stuff, but we're always reaching out to people saying, hey, let's do something together. So now I have this huge contract with Dr. Carl Twiner. He's the director over this a cappella choir that we're raising this money for over the next 6 months for them to go to Italy. And now that has springboarded another conversation that's getting ready to happen. And I'll be real glad to announce that one. This one is actually a family member, another family member who is in the music industry. And y'all know his name, but I ain't going to say it yet until.
Okay.
So after this, I'm actually going to have that conversation with them. And then if they say green light go and we, send some paperwork back and forth and get that done.
Right.
I'll say by tomorrow. Well, I can't say that because I don't know what decisions they need to make on their end. I know what I got on my end. I'm ready for them. And if they say they want to do it, this is going to be so big. And it keeps growing. It keeps growing.
Amazing.
So I'm going to say this, and then again, we can go on to something else or whatever you want to do. I remember a friend of ours who we all know, don't need to call them names. He had a film, and there's a lot of our friends that had short films that went viral on different platforms. But I remember him posting and saying, "Hey guys, my short film did over 1 million views on YouTube." And everybody's like, "Wow, oh, that's awesome. Oh, I gotta see it." And they shared it like crazy and he had all these comments. And I know how much YouTube pays when a video goes viral. I know how much they pay. So I hit this guy up because I got a TV channel.
Right.
And I said, "Hey man, I don't need the exact number, but did you get a check anywhere between 3 and let's say 7, 8? Let's cap it off at a higher number that I know YouTube ain't paying for your million views. Did you get a check between $3,000 and $10,000? Yes or no?" And the guy said, "Yeah." I said, "That's good." I said, "But do you know your same film that went viral on YouTube? If it was on my Roku channel for $1 and you had 1 million views, you would now have $800,000 instead of $3,000 to $10,000. $1. It's all about numbers at the end of the day, y'all.
Right.
It's all about numbers. So 1 million views on YouTube is between $3,000 and $6,000 if you do the. And again, they monetize the content based off of advertising dollars, viewing hours, and all this, and how many subscribers you had, and all that good stuff. We all know that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But it just blows me away, and I'm still looking at other independent creators. Y'all got this content that y'all spent money to make, and even if you ain't had to pay nobody in the whole entire project, you still spent your time. You still pulled out that camera, the microphones, which could have gotten damaged and shut down you being able to create this content.
Right.
But you took a risk.
Right.
But when you get to the point of I'm looking for distribution, there's not really a risk. It's just a matter of choices based off of what you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you know me and I know you, why isn't your content on my channel? And I say that to everybody. I don't care who I talk to. Why isn't your content on my channel being monetized? Why are you having events live? Why are you having events where there's only 200 people that can get in the room, but I can create a TV pay-per-view link on the channel and we can get 200,000 people on the live while you only got 200 in the room?
Right.
Why are we leaving this money on the table?
Ah.
You can't really impress me telling me you had a sold out show. That's a great thing. That's great. I promise you that's a great thing. But if you sold out an audience of even, let's say you sold out an audience on a football field at a festival and you sold it out, you're the headliner and you're the reason why everybody came, and you had 15,000 people. That's great. I'm the vice president of a global organic promotion company with 281 million in our metaverse. So if you did 10,000 on the football field, imagine how many people that really like you and follow you, but they couldn't get to that event. Or they didn't want to be around a group of people because people doing mass shootings at concerts and all kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or people don't want to get in the gridlock of going to that particular venue because it's in a particular city, say like something busy like Atlanta.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Don't
tell nobody you'll be nowhere in 5 minutes in Atlanta. You're telling them a lie. If you're 5 minutes away, tell them you'll see them in an hour. But my point is, if you know me and I know you, and we're all in this same game together. And I don't think I'm bigger or better than anyone else. And I tell you, I have a way to monetize every single thing you're doing where you can make much more money every single time you have to do it. Mm-hmm. Why aren't we having a conversation?
That's right.
I put up a post and said, send me your free movie trailers. You know how many trailers I got?
5.
One. Send me your movie trailers. I won't even charge you nothing. I'll put it on the channel that I pay for, me and my business partners, me and Ebony Joy. We pay for that channel every month. We pay to be on the network. We pay that when you go on Roku and you search Amethyst On Fire Entertainment LLC, that button is going to pop up and you can download it and add it as a channel. We pay for all of that.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, free. Now, what's going to become the situation is somebody going to say, well, he charged too much. Well, when I was free, you ain't do nothing. The value of my channel is going up. Every time I pick up a contract, that brings the value of my channel up.
Right.
Absolutely.
If I put this podcast on my channel, you guys are worth more because of your potential exposure. 81 million households. A household is 3 to 4 people. Now multiply 81 million times that, then you put 281 million in the metaverse promotions behind it. You can charge $1 for your podcast.
Yeah, that's
and y'all have a following that a lot of people don't have. Y'all have the Hispanic community, who I love very dearly, because growing up in Brooklyn, New York, and Coney Island, I had a best friend. My brother was named Paul. His best friend was Pablo. Paul.
How about that? Paul and Pablo.
Pablo had a brother named Rolando.
Okay.
He was my age, so he became my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
My mother, their family became so close with ours until there were times when Pablo's sister, Jenny, they would babysit me. That's how close we were. My mother didn't trust any and everybody with her baby.
Right, yeah.
So, again, guys, it's here.
It is.
It's here. I do not bust people in there. And like I tell people, our Roku channel is a starting place. We don't even do exclusive agreements. I have people say, you buy content? No, I do not. I got my own content.
Mm-hmm.
But I will take yours and market it, promote it, and monetize it and distribute it for you if you will allow me, if you give me that chance. Yes, he's somebody we know, no names called. I'm in their project. I hit them up and say, hey, man, I've seen all these other movies come out that you're doing with other directors and producers. What about the project that we did?
Mm-hmm.
You know what he told me? That he was waiting for?
What was he waiting for?
Distribution.
Oh.
Oh, right. So I have a TV channel.
Right.
That's distribution.
Right.
And it will be a household worldwide.
Right.
And I call you and talk to you and you tell me you're waiting on distribution. How do you think I felt?
Yeah, I can only imagine how you felt.
I help you produce the movie using my resources, location, casted talent, the whole 9. And I didn't charge you nothing for that. All I'm saying is I put in some work that I didn't charge you for. The least you could do is let's get this movie out.
Right.
And if you told me something was wrong, well, because the sound quality wasn't good, you got to shoot it over. I got that.
Right.
Some of the camera quality that you thought looked good, it didn't, and you couldn't get your matches right on your color tones, and you feel like it needed to be done over, or somebody fell out and they're giving you hell and they said, I don't want you using me in your film and this and that and this and that, and now we might have to recast and shoot something over. I'll take all of those as answers, not excuses, and I'll take all of those as reasons, not excuses.
Right.
If I got a distribution channel, and I ask you what are you waiting for to release the movie that we made, and you tell me distribution, something's either wrong with me or something wrong with you.
Right.
But I have a problem with that.
Wow.
I have a problem with that. So again, back to what I said earlier. What is it that has us so divided that we're not working together?
Right.
What is it that has us so divided that you'll gladly put content on other platforms with people who you don't know, and they're not going to give you a dime until you reach 1 million views? That's when they start breaking off that 45% of the advertising dollars they get paid, and you get paid out of a pool. So they're going to take their 55% from the advertisers. They take 45% and put it in the pool. They look at which projects got the most streams, and they take those top projects and they break down those dollars among those group of people based on your percentage of that contribution inside of that 45%. That's how you get paid.
Right.
But on my channel, if somebody see your content and they click on it, it's got a lock and it says you got to put your credit card in. If that content is $1, when they put that credit card in, you get 80 cents and we get 20. It's an 80-20 split. And that's most of the common distribution points for most distributors anyway.
Right.
And if I know you and really like you and you're serious and you're really building and you got some stuff lined up that we can really, really build on, I'll jump it up to a 90-10 split to get you started so you can have a little more money in your pocket up front to create better content or bring people in or whatever case may be, whatever you got to do. I'll do that for 3 months, 6 months, and then we go back to the 80-20 if you're really trying to get on your feet and you really need those cash dollars. But that's with somebody who I got a relationship with or somebody who's hungry enough and bring me the right conversation and it makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. So for those listening and watching that have content that they're interested in listening, getting to know more about you, the services you offer, especially with your platform, Roku TV, Amethyst on Fire, how can they reach you? How can they get that conversation going and all of this in the works?
Absolutely. We have a business phone number. And like I tell people, I never have a problem giving out my phone number. I know how to block a phone number if somebody ain't talking right. Somebody playing stupid. Right. You know what I mean? I know how to block a number. I also know how to reverse track numbers. I've got some friends who do some things in real life where if I want to find out something, I can find it out. But I would not even use those resources unless you are a threat or a problem. But phone number, ready? 662-306-1118.
662-306-1118.
That's the phone number. That number reaches myself, my business partner, and my queen, Ebony Joy. That number. That's a business number in the business line that we're using. And I tell people, hey, if it ain't about business, you might not too much want to use that number because we don't have time to play. We don't have time for the games. You can reach me by way of Facebook, Instagram, Brent Gaskins, or Brent Moorer, Moorer, Brent Moorer Gaskins. Email Brent Moorer Gaskins, email Brent Gaskins at MSN, email Brent Moorer Gaskins at gmail.com. But I mean, most people with the YouTube and the Instagram and the Facebook and all of that, you can find me by my name at Brent Moorer Gaskins or at Brent Gaskins.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
We've had an amazing conversation.
Hey, it's been a long time since we went over an hour, and this is exciting. Yeah, it's definitely.
We have to get him back for part 2 for sure, so we can hear more about this business agreement or this business that's happening that he just mentioned. But we're hitting the segment for the last minute words, and so yeah, let's transition over to last minute words.
Wait, I think you got one more thing. What you
One
got?
last thing.
Yep.
Okay, so I just want to make this announcement one more time.
Yep.
The world-renowned Russ College a cappella choir, the only college in HBCU in the whole entire United States. They're on their way to Verona, Italy. We're having a benefit concert for them on October the 27th here in Holly Springs, Mississippi. Okay. The theater only seats 640 people. We have Doug Williams from the legendary group, the Williams Brothers, and we have the Jackson Southerners. Both of these groups out of Mississippi. Any one of these groups, sideways, backwards, with their eyes closed, will pack out 640 seats. And that's why we also have tickets online. You go to my social media pages, it's there. You can grab the link. Advance tickets 30, at the door day of 45. The tickets will be priced the exact same price online.
Right.
And I just want any and every HBCU, anybody who loves kids, anybody who loves music, singing, competitions, choir, chorale, a cappella. And these kids are from all over that's on this choir. Chicago, Nigeria, New York, Los Angeles. It's a well-blended group of kids from all over the world. Several international students on this choir. And when I say, man, their sound is beautiful. I'm gonna send you guys a post that's been up probably for about a few years now, where they got like close to 500,000 views, and they just broke out singing at a restaurant, and it went viral. They just broke out singing at a restaurant, and it went viral. And I really want to make sure that those who love and support things like that, if even if you can't go, or even if you don't even like gospel music, donate to the kids, buy the ticket and give it to somebody else.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't care, but let's get these kids to Italy. Some of them have never been out of their county. Some of them have never been out of the state of Mississippi. And I want to be a part of changing their life. I want to, when these kids look back years later, whether I'm here now, I want to be able to say, man, you know something? Y'all remember that old cat, the actor? Yeah, the one that came and did our pictures? Yeah, what Brent? Yeah, man, that guy, man, he helped.
He did.
To do something that was a turning point in my life. You know what I mean? Something that really made me see who I'm supposed to be in God.
Right.
If you got a gift and a talent, God didn't give that gift and talent to you for you. He meant for you to take it to the world.
Right.
That's why Jamie Foxx's mother told him, his adopted mom, his stepmom, his foster mom told him, I'm going to give you a gift that's going to put you in front of kings and queens.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he became a triple threat: singing, acting, and
comedian.
Do it all. Comedy. Yeah.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That's it. My success is garnered by how many people I help. Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead, yes.
Right.
No, I was gonna say that was some amazing last minute words right there. That
is definitely amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for those last minute words. I appreciate that. Manny, your turn with the last minute words.
Yes. So as I usually say, never let the fear of failure overcome the righteousness of success. Look at Mr. Gaskins. Everything that he's been through. He's been down to the bottom, like rock bottom. And look at where he's at now. Because he didn't let the fear of failing stop him from what he was doing, or what he needed to do, or what his purpose in this world was for. And not only is he successful for himself, but he's giving back. And that's the most joyous thing that you could ever have in life, is to give back to others and see that joy that they have, thinking that, hey, I could be somebody. And knowing that you help that person, it just overwhelming with your heart. Like, it just makes it, spill over. Like when a lot of people down here in Florida, when I really started like gaining traction, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I know this person, I know that person, and then they network, and then something happens, and it's like, yo, you the GOAT, yo, you know everybody, you a networking king, and it brings me joy, and I don't charge them anything, and it's like, it was given to me, so I'm going to give it to you,
Absolutely.
And just to have that joy. So don't be scared to fall and get back up. Just learn from that mistake. That way you won't make it in the future.
Absolutely.
Yes. You can find me on social media, Author Manny Morales, at Instagram, Facebook, authormanny-morales.com. If you want a book, if you want an autograph copy, hit me up on social media. I will definitely send it to you. My model page is Manny Morales 1824. And Love Is Our Magic series coming soon. Very soon.
That's awesome. Yes.
I'm excited.
You should be.
We're actually shooting the second scene for the movie short Saturday.
Okay.
So I'm working on trying to get as many movie shorts as possible for the trailer, so that way it'll be enough content to be like, ooh, I gotta watch that, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's
It's
great.
Awesome.
very interesting. I'm excited.
I want to. I'm sorry. This is my last thing. I'm serious. Okay. So, I just want to say that also too, you know, what makes this ride so good is having a partner,
Right.
who really understands who you are.
Right.
They understand your purpose, and they don't get in the way of that.
Yes.
They don't tell you. They don't. When God say you need to go, they don't tell you, "Oh, baby, I don't want you to go." No, they understand. No, baby, you're on a mission.
Right. You need to go.
You go ahead and take care of that, and I got this back here.
Right. Exactly.
And this young lady right here, that's her New York Film Academy degree. That's my queen. That's Ebony. That's why she's my acting coach.
Right.
Because I said, "What are you doing with this degree?" And she's like, "Well, kind of this and that." I said, "Let me see your curriculum." I looked at curriculum, and it's everything that gives you the technical side of acting. I was like, "Wow, I came into business raw. I'm doing everything off the cuff.
Right.
I'll make you my acting coach. You can teach me something." And sure enough.
That's amazing. So salute to Ebony Joy.
Hey.
Shout out to Ebony.
Hey. Oh, and this happened today. My publicist, I have a publicist now, Power Media Solutions.
Okay.
Sharon Rooks has an office in Memphis, just opened up one here in Holly Springs. And she just did a event for Henderson Thigpen. He was one of the writers of the song Make You a Woman. Remember that song? You said you something, but I hope that you will. He was one of the writers on that song.
Okay.
I'm nervous and I'm trembling. You ain't never heard that song? Waiting for you.
Not ringing the bell, but
That I try. It was a big hit. It was a huge song. But anyway, he was one of the writers. He recently got 2 Grammys. He was with one of the company called Stax Records. And anyway, she did an event for him. That's how I met her, met Suave, the guitarist and artist and stuff. But she just did the press release today. She's officially my publicist. And she's also one of the other promotions people on this thing for the kids. But I'm looking for great things with her. And she's putting together something. And so you guys will see me in another light under her leadership and what she's doing for us and all of our brands and stuff. So yeah, I just want to say that I'm so proud of her. She's in school for her master's now. Ebony is. Awesome. Yeah, along with all the nonprofit stuff, making T-shirts, cleaning business, and doing the best job I've had in my life with allowing me to be who I know God called me to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? And she picks up a lot of weight, but we have a plan together, and it's balanced.
Good. And that's what's most important, having a plan together and not being separated. That's amazing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What about you, Yessie? What are your final thoughts? This was an amazing episode. Like, I love this episode.
I love y'all. This is awesome.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, hey, we're going to have you back for part 2. So stay tuned, 2025.
Part 2.
So with Oyandia TV, I want to say thank you to the listeners, the audience. We are worldwide, Samsung Music, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, IG, Deezer, RSS. We're all over. Thanks be to God. We're growing. And with that,
Apple Music and iHeartRadio, we coming for you.
Oh yeah, it's coming. We're coming. But I say this to say I also love Oyandia and the fact that God put this vision back in 2018. Mm-hmm. And then, my partner pushing me to say, hey, get it, go for it.
Who's your partner?
My honey, Raul.
What he name is Shahi out.
Shout out to Raul.
I was talking about all the time. Manny's my witness.
That's my dude. My dude.
Yeah. My honey
Yo,
Rawa.
Brent,
He's dope.
Yo, Brent, I got this role for you, man. We are shooting at this in Raleigh, man. But come through, man. You know. That's my dude.
Why you making him sound like he Notorious B.I.G.?
Well, you know he is from New York.
No,
you know what I mean? He is from New York.
New Jersey.
That is hilarious.
Jersey.
Yeah.
Yep. He's from Jersey.
And
he's
even
from
with
yeah, he's from Jersey.
I'm from Catskills. I thought this guy was from New York. I thought I knocked your boyfriend out in Brooklyn somewhere. I think he came to visit us. I don't know if you're together or not, but I knocked out some dude that was close. I'm impenetrable. This is ludicrous. Like I know this guy's from up north somewhere. Okay, let's go.
Brent is funny.
Forever.
Hilarious. Also, Brent. But overall, with Hoy en Día TV, we aim to positively motivate, enlighten, educate, inspire, and of course, entertain. Because as you can see, we have a lot of entertainment going on with each and every episode, because that's what we're here for. And shout out to Brent for being a special guest, Manny for always being the dope co-host, and just all of us for being here together.
Yes.
Thank you. Shout out to God, because God's got this going on, and the train is going and going and going and going and going.
Yes.
But nevertheless, you can find me on Google. Just type in Yessie Rodriguez, so you can find my social media handles on there. Anything that I've been on, anything you want to know pretty much about Yessie, more than likely Google's gonna have it. I will say not all my movies on there though. If you see some of those movies, there's a bunch missing, but that's neither here nor there. It's okay. But anyway, the sky is never the limit because the galaxies are endless. And also, that's the ending quote, but shout out to the sponsors. So we have author Manny Morales, we have Collective Wear, we have Divine Beauty and Accessories. And so if you want to be a sponsor, hit us up here at hoyendiatv@gmail.com. I'm putting the email right at the bottom. hoyendiatv@gmail.com. We do have sponsor packages available. You can be on here, you can get shouted out, we curate commercials, etc. We got you. But hey, this has been another amazing episode. Until next time, my people. See you soon.